Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is once again the Please Understand podcast. Minnesota sports perfected by casuals. We got the March 4th edition coming to you here on a Wednesday night, in between a couple of T-Wolves games this week. As always, joined by the homies Jake and Phil. Phil, how's traffic looking out there tonight? No comment.
That's a great question. I don't know. I wasn't out there, so I know. Tough not to know. Tough not to know what the weather is, or what the traffic is. But weather a little foggy this morning. A little foggy. Almost crashed.
A little weird.
A little weird today.
Jake, you've been looking at the cast. I'm starting to think about getting some swings in here pretty soon.
Emerald Green's driving range opened up today.
Did it really? Oh man.
Yeah, Matt's only, but hey, that's something.
Yeah, they don't play.
They don't fucking wait at all. That's kind of their best function. It sure isn't Augusta out there, but it has its functionality.
First open, last to close, so we'll take it.
Yeah, and that's kind of what this time of year, like beginning of the season, end of the season. Take what you can get, and then especially starting out, like you're just looking to get reps in. I mean, it's rusty and dusty. Go launch them out there and go find them, and try to save your good ones for a little later in the year when it gets a little nicer out there. But
there's one thing you need to know about Emerald Greens. You can count on them being open when it's shitty, and you can count on the fact that they will not pave their parking lot. That is for sure.
Yeah, you can count on them being open when it's shitty, and when that course, it can be shitty when it's open. So that's kind of
that's true.
And they got 36, I guess, which is a number to have.
Something.
Before we jump in, gang, take a quick second. Go ahead and hit subscribe. Follow the show on all platforms. Of course, X, where we're getting all the news here, especially with Vikes. TikTok, YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. Leave us a rating and review. Makes a big difference. Tricking the algorithm. Try to bump us up in the search engine a little bit here. Helps us out a lot. So go ahead and download the episode as well. Listen anywhere, anytime. Share it with the homies. All right, fellas. I was also going to add, I'm trying to think of administrative announcements. I know in a couple weeks we are going to get into the NCAA tournament picks. I think we did that last year. I'm not remembering any dubs in any pools, but
definitely not.
The fact that I can't remember, I'm guessing is like probably an unmemorable submission as usual, but we're due. But we had some good interaction on the talks with those last year, so pod tradition as well. And for those popping into the live stream, toss some comments out here. If it's Vikes related, we're going to get into some Vikes. We've got some T-Wolves thoughts, maybe some Royce Lewis. PGA one and done as usual. Arnold Palmer invitation this week. Invitational.
Palmer alert.
Another little weird cut this week as well. Yeah, Arnie Palmies. So that's the agenda for tonight. So let's dive in. I think more of the pressing news is related around the Vikes at this moment in time. We'll get to some Wolves, like we said. They kind of just have another repeat season, as we always talk about. But big stories coming in post combine. Looks like the Vikes looking to move off of their Jonathans. Yesterday reported by Schefter that we are open to trading Jonathan Greenard. It doesn't sound like maybe that's like hey, we're actively exploring and trying to get this done. But if they get a day 2 pick, second or third rounder, might make some sense. I know we're up against the cap, which isn't real unless apparently it's Vikes. So it seems like he could be a casualty. And then it sounds like today they're going to be looking to release Jonathan Allen. Sick signing that was to free up only $6 million. So Jake, I'll throw it to you first round. Let's go Greenard first. Is it worth moving off of him if it's let's say second round pick, or would you even do it for a third?
Maybe a third. We'll see. I don't know. It's just, we got to make moves somehow to lower this cap, and we got a couple other defensive ends on the team, and Turner and Gink. So we're just a little deep in that position. So let's try and get something for what we can, lower that cap. Somebody's got to go. So it's not like we just keep everybody and all hold hands and be a big family. So sucks. He's odd man out here. But yeah, give me a second round pick, possibly a third. Maybe we could get like, I don't know, a little something else with it, but maybe some cash considerations. We'll see how it goes. But
we need him.
Part of the business. You got to go.
Man, that's a tough one. He's a really solid contributor to the squad, and I mean, it's one of those situations where it's like, well, Dallas Turner, if this does happen, it's your time. There's no the kitty gloves are coming off for you. He did show some signs, obviously, late last year, but yeah, that would be a tough one. I think, like, yeah, if you can get a second, that would be solid. But man, then you know our draft history, so it's like, well, I don't know what the correct answer is here, honestly.
Well, we've got consultants now coming in to
does that matter?
Finally have a good draft. I mean, it can't be worse. Until
well,
it is. It was also being reported that it looks like he wants what they call like a market reset in his contract. This gets thrown off like every year. The bar gets raised. I can't remember who set the new bar. It might have been Parsons in like the $40 million a year range. And so I think Greenard is somewhere around 20. And it's like, well, what are you trying to get? Like, we're already up against it here. We can't really afford. And it's like certain guys just become expendable, especially when you saw, like you said, I think what we saw from Dallas Turner finally last year makes you feel a little bit better about potentially losing someone like Greenard. As good as he was that first year, he did kind of take a little step back, and it's like, dude, you in the NFL, man, like you can fall off pretty quick, and the peak level of performance isn't going to be what you're always going to be getting going forward. So it also sounds like it's a pretty deep edge rusher draft class. I don't know if you guys are into the mocks or into the weeds yet. With the combine last week, it was finally starting to like get into some of these mocks, seeing like who are the nerds really liking. And I'm like, yeah, I remember watching him a few times. And then you look at the mocks and you're like, he's not even on here. It reminded me, I'm trying to think. I think it was that safety the Seahawks got maybe in the early second round. It was just like pretty unanimously viewed as like a very good player. But then they're like, well, safety, it's not a high leverage position, all that bullshit. And so these guys fall. So there's a few guys out there like that hopefully we can target. And then, yeah, if you can add another second rounder to do so. But does it feel kind of, I know last year the quarterback situation made it kind of tough to fully optimize where we were, thinking our roster was pretty loaded. But Jake, is this feeling more and more like a transition year? Like even admittedly so by the team? Like they weren't saying it last year, but it kind of feels that way now.
Yeah, hopes were, I think, unreasonably high last year, especially with the rookie quarterback, even if JJ was healthy all year. Because we did have everything else was looking good on paper, but obviously didn't turn out that way. But going into this year, too, it's going to be like, how much looks like Kyler might be coming to town now. So how much is he going to cost? Hopefully cheap, but we'll see. I don't know, man. Expectations are not very high right now in this Vikings organization at the moment.
It's I think for a lot of fans and for us, it looks like, yeah, transition year. But man, like if they don't do something, heads are gonna roll. And like, there's a GM job open. There's some guys maybe, in the organization looking at that. KOC, like his window is gonna close if they don't start winning. So like transition year for the organization is kind of dicey. You think like they'd be looking to make a big splash and try to win now, especially like this division's nothing too special. Like you can win this division. So I don't know, man. It does scream transition year for a normal casual out there, but I think for the organization, they're looking to try to do something drastic because they want to win.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have the quarterback position figured out, you can say whatever you want about the direction of your franchise. Like you're in a transition period until you can find somebody to stabilize that. So dropping Greenard, and it's like, now you almost look back of like their strategy over the last few years, and it gives me a couple thoughts. One, like we could really be looking at this Quezzy hire. It already isn't looking like it was the greatest idea. And it feels like over time, it's only getting worse, especially as you see, like, I guess he brought in Greenard, but like this past free agent class with like Jonathan Allen, sounds like he's going to be let go. Hargrave, Ryan Kelly. I don't want to drive by Will Fries. I don't think he was the main culprit really of anything, but like, was he all that we had hoped he would be? Isaiah Rogers. I know they brought Murphy back as well. So it's like the Quezzy era, I think, set us back a little bit. So then you go from, this win now roster, and now we're all of a sudden we're like 40 million over the cap, and we're just kind of like dumping guys off for picks and trying to cut costs here or there and have a pretty significant draft in front of us. We got to nail this draft. That's the way you bounce back quick, is if you can get some ready to contribute guys right away in this draft. But the way it looks like right now, you're kind of just one and done for some of these guys. And it just like didn't really go the way that you had hoped with, some of these interior guys. But, at the same time, like what Hargrave and Allen are gone, but it's like we found gold in Redmond, and like Tyrion Ingram Dawkins was good. Like Levi Drake Rodriguez, all these guys with 9 names. I'm trying to
trying to remember them all.
Those are just 2 people, by the way. All those names are just
one guy.
Yeah.
Just one guy. He's very good.
Yeah. So there's definitely stuff in positions that they need. I think even though it's $6 million in savings, it sounds like, to get rid of Allen, whatever. He didn't really jump off the page. Maybe the PFF nerds would disagree. I'm a casual as is. So you just didn't hear his name getting called a lot, during the game. So sucks to lose Greenard. He was good. That was kind of the, when you reverse engineer some of these trades like we do over the years with all our teams, like he was the guy that you kind of got for Daniil, who was a Vikes legend for a while. And now you're just like, dump him for a 2nd round pick or 3rd and hope that you can just kind of replenish the system. And we're doing all this without a GM. So that's another interesting part of this, where it's like, does that sound like a great idea? And it doesn't sound like they have plans to hire anyone prior to this draft. So good idea. But we were talking about, Jake, you said Kyler, and the transition period is like, it sounds like he's, one of the Vikes definitely have him as a target. It sounds like him and Geno. We talked about some of the names last week that we would want in here. And it sounds like Kyler Murray and Geno Smith are kind of their 2 guys that they're after. And I think they're both going to be just in the open market. Vikes seem like a pretty good landing spot. So Jake, you and I had Kyler pretty low on our rankings. Is this a situation that
Geno.
Yes, he was more. Yeah, he wasn't very much ranked higher either. But is this a situation where, like, if we did get him, it's like, I can talk myself into that, or are you still just like, I don't want anything to do with him?
I don't know, man. I'm not too thrilled with either of them. I'm obviously going to talk myself into both of them, whoever signs here, because that's just what I do. I drink the Kool-Aid for any of my teams. But I don't know. I don't think either one should be too expensive. Anything like over 10 mil or anything like that. Under 10 mil, they should be. I mean, that should be fine. Hopefully, it's not like a bidding war for any of these 2 dudes. There shouldn't be, hopefully. So that should be the only bonus, is they'll be cheap, and then we'll just take whoever wants to come here. I think it's a coin toss between the 2 of them. I really don't care. I kind of feel like if Geno's here, it's more of a JJ has a chance kind of a thing. But I think Kyler would come in here, and I think he would just automatically be tossed into the starting role. I don't think he earns that, but we'll see what happens. I don't know.
You might have to
not a fan of him either.
You might have to give him that to get him to sign here.
Just to get him here, yeah.
Commit to him being the starter, just to get him in the door. And then the situation for him is probably like, well, I can come to Minnesota for he'll probably sign a short-term deal. And then even if it goes great, like the Darnold situation, now you're right back in that same predicament of like, do you do you want to give Kyler like a big contract now if he has a good season? And they probably will because of what they did with Darnold. So then he's your long-term guy at that point. I mean, we've really boxed ourselves into a corner. It's like when you look back at this, you probably should not have been drafting JJ. Like that really just put a lot of pressure on all of this decision making. But Phil, you were the Kyler guy. Are you you're still wanting him? Or I guess by default.
Am I
playing the
getting
parade
coined as the Kyler guy? Yeah.
You had him on, didn't you?
Hey, I had him one on a sick list.
A list of 7.
I mean, let's not get too carried away here.
Smartest dumb people list. Yeah.
Yeah, like
he's the best of the worst.
If I'm looking at those two and it's about the same price, Kyler's 28, Geno's 35. Stay as far away from Aaron Rodgers as possible because I know some people are going to be like wanting him, and I don't want anything to do with that. Like I would sign either of these guys to a long-term contract just to stay away from Aaron if that was the case.
Just to make sure,
just make sure we'd have nothing to do with him. Yeah, can you please retire already?
Yeah, it would be very interesting to see what the terms are like with Kyler. Is it a 1 year? Like, I mean, I know everyone on X, of course, you know, all the know-it-alls are just saying like, we'll get him for the minimum. And it's like, well, I mean, that'd be great just for our cap, but like, would it be better to just be like some sort of 2 or 3 year deal to avoid that situation of a 1 good year? Now you already have to go back to the table.
Right. And the situation kind of changes a little bit because he's being released. I think when we had this conversation last week, we're looking at like whatever that $40 or $50 million he was about to make. We're looking at that number and going, oh, absolutely not. Nobody wants to pay that. Situation changes a little bit and you can get him for cheap. It's like, well, why not? I mean, he's definitely had some flashes in the NFL, but I don't know. It's one of those things like can KOC kind of turn it around? He's had a lot of injuries lately as well. So,
well, that brings up the other talking point is like many folk in the media aren't loving that as a fit, the Kyler KOC system. I think Orlovsky was saying he's like, you know, good, not great. And he's like, the KOC system, you need a point guard, not like a off script type of playmaker, which Kyler is. You buying into any of that, or is it just like, dude, we were talking Brosmer last year, so let's chill on the fit type of situation. Or also, which we kind of ran into this last year. Hey, KOC, have a little flexibility, dog.
Right. Because JJ, it's not like Kyler and JJ aren't completely unsimilar in the style they play. I mean, like Kyler obviously is a little more athletic, gets out and run, but he did that a lot more in his early years in the league as well. And JJ, you know, he's kind of the same way where if a play breaks down, he's trying to take off. Just pretty athletic. They make some dumb mistakes. I don't think they're like completely like if JJ can somehow stay healthy, he can work in KOC's system. So I don't see why Kyler couldn't.
Yeah. And I guess, you know, the other part, Kyler, I wouldn't think has played behind too good of an offensive line really at any point in his career.
Right.
He always seems like it's drop back and just run around by time, but probably because he's had to. And you would think you'd be able to give him a little bit more time with some of the guys we have up front. But I mean, yeah, I guess you bringing in Kyler he's going to start. Like you're kind of admitting defeat on JJ to a certain extent. Yeah. And is that a good idea? Because I think perfect world for everyone is like somehow JJ pans out. But Jake, what's the path to that even happening at this point with all these rumors swirling?
Yeah, it's not looking good for the JJ fanboys out there. It's looking every single day looks like it's less and less that they even want him on the team, let alone a bench quarterback. So
yeah.
I don't know, man. I think I don't want to give up on him yet. I feel like we try and throw him out there one more year, depending on what he can do in this offseason and preseason and get the season going. Because it's just like I don't think Kyler or Geno's winning us any Super Bowls, and that's not like a long-term thing here. So that's my goal. So I want to find our future franchise quarterback. That's my goal. And I think JJ would be the best out of those three to have an opportunity for a future franchise quarterback. So I don't know. It's not pretty here right now. This is some dark days we're having. And it's the worst of times too, because we're like on another year here, like we were talking about. Like KOC is probably on his last year if he doesn't make playoffs. We still don't have a GM, obviously. There's maybe just Brian Flores kicks in. I don't know. It's so many questions in this organization right now. It's just, it sucks. I'm not happy about this.
It's exactly what we didn't want to go into this next year. We talked about it all last year when after they got rid of Darnold and Daniel Jones, and it was like JJ just, we have to know, and we don't know. And I think like that's why we're seeing so many rumors at this point. It's going to be real interesting next couple of weeks. That's for sure.
Yeah, this is as like entertained as I'll be as a Vikes fan since like we had Darnold prior to his final two games here. Like that was the last, like I was just edge of my seat. What's going to happen? And now like it's a fork in the road kind of a situation here. How we handle really this off season, and how does JJ become the guy when you read every report for every quarterback? They're like, where would be a good fit, Vikings, every single one of them. And some names are more in the starter like column, and then some would be more of the open competition, which I think is a minimum of what will happen with JJ. And so what is the path then for him to emerge? And it's probably some sort of like, okay, you did sign Kyler and he's the starter, but he's been known to be injured as well. So then maybe JJ gets this opportunity at some point after having sat on the side a little bit longer, but also has some experience. And then you hope that when he then gets his opportunity, he just takes the job and doesn't give it back at that point. That to me is like the needle you have to thread for him to become the Vikings franchise quarterback. Do you guys disagree? Like, I feel like that's
a perfect plan. It's just, that is a very narrow bridge that you're trying to cross right there.
I know that's what I'm saying is like, that's the only thing I can even, unless he just like somehow just starts in camp and is just awesome and developed over the summer. And, you know, I would be surprised if that were to happen as well.
Right.
I would love that for sure. But we're gonna, you know, like we were just saying, whoever they sign, I think is going to tell you a lot about their plans with JJ. And I think I think next Wednesday, I want to say, the new league year kicks off. Happy New Year to everyone who celebrates. I think that's the day that they can officially sign players. And every year I hear that date.
Legal tampering?
Well, there's always like a signing like the day or two before. And you're like, wait, so what? What the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
So that's one thing. There's another thing I feel like with NFL. It seems like it's just much more loose of a system. I think I texted you guys this like a month ago where they're like, there's a headline on the bottom line of ESPN where like the Chiefs restructured Patrick Mahomes' contract, creating like $50 million in cap. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, how are you even doing that?
So wait a minute. Do we have a player that we can just do that with? And then we're under the cap. Is that how that works? Jefferson, you listening?
Maybe Jefferson. Yeah.
How does that work?
Maybe it's easier to do when you have that gigantic quarterback salary, but that's, everyone's always like, you don't want to be paying a quarterback all this money. You want to build out your roster around it. It's like, well, if you do pay them, you can just move money around left and right as you please, cash considerations. So that's always kind of cracks me up. And then the other thing with NFL free agency, I feel like we've done this and I've seen other teams do that where you'll see it where like Vikings are 40 million over the cap. And you see Jonathan Allen, he's a cap casualty. And then the first day of free agency, there will be this report. Vikings signed so-and-so for 3 years, $41 million. And you're like, where's this money coming from? Like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, watch that happen. I feel like that will happen. So nobody understands any of it at all. But even in this case, it's like, it seems like we're abiding by these cap rules. And it's like, yeah, we kind of have to get rid of some dudes. We got a comment here. We're on the Vikes. I was getting ready to pivot, but homie Andrew's wanting to know, Is Jordan Addison on this team in 2 months? That's another thing we've been seeing on X. Lots of trade proposals with his name in there. I've seen, I can't remember who was picking 5th or 6th, where they're like, if you throw him in the trade and you can move up to the 5th or 6th pick or something. It's like, I don't know if we need to do that, but where are you guys standing on Addison at this point? He's been good this offseason.
What I've been seeing a little bit today was that they like Jordan Addison here, and he's probably going to be sticking around, him and Hoganson. So those are the 2 guys that we were kind of talking about cutting before season ended.
Yeah,
but I don't know. If you're going to bring a new quarterback in here, you're going to need weapons. So it's either him or somebody else. I saw Diggs just got released, so maybe we bring him back. So
we love bringing him back.
So,
we sure
do that. I don't know. I feel
Diggs, Addison, let those guys have a night out on the town. I'm sure that'll go
that'd be
fine.
A good bit of fun. Yeah.
I think we should let people know that are listening that as we are casuals, we do call TJ Hawkinson Hoganson as an inside joke, so we're not like that dumb. Just so you guys know. I know we throw it out there all the time. Like, these guys probably don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Someone, we won't say who, but yeah, somebody just dead ass was calling him that. And we're just like, all right, we're stealing this.
Yeah,
not a G in sight in that name, but we're taking it.
Nope.
And on the same topic, did you see? Yeah, I don't know.
I'm saying, why don't they, like, as far as Addison goes, that's one story, but like Hoagie, why are we like hanging on to this dude? He has like the biggest cap hit for a tight end. I don't know, man.
I thought he'd be the first to go.
The money. That seems like the money to go, but again, casuals here. We don't know about the salary cap and how that all works. So I don't know. That's a weird.
And I damn sure ain't gonna learn about it. So
right.
I'm gonna keep scrolling on my phone.
You got time
all day. On the Addison note, I did also see. I can't remember who reported that. Of course, sorry to not give credit. It might not even be true. So maybe that's all for the best. But they were saying there's like a big market for Naylor. Like 10 teams were interested in him. So it sounds like he's probably gone and going to get
good for him
a decent contract. So then now it's like, well, you probably need to keep Addison at that point.
Keep him around then.
Or Jake. We could be looking at a
draft
receiver.
One, right, guys? Hey, we got a couple extra picks this year. Maybe we even take 2 wide receivers.
I wouldn't mind taking 2 in the first and just being set for life.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
With the next
trade Addison, move up to 5. Where's the top receiver going? It's got to be right around there, right?
Yeah, we'll get into more mocks in the coming days, but yeah, it can't go wrong.
Give Kyler all the weapons he needs. All right.
Yeah,
I'm not hating on that.
Yeah. Well, it kind of the more you read and scroll, it feels like he's coming here. When you guys like, we're the betting favorites.
Vegas thinks so as well. Yep. It's like us and the Jets. So woohoo.
Yeah. As much as we dog our own situation, it's like when you look at his other options, the Vikes look pretty overwhelming as a choice. You know, unless he's trying to just get money.
The Jets are so funny. They just like
they were looking at Tua.
they're looking at Geno Smith they're looking at Kyler as like probably the best QB they've signed in years. They're like Justin Fields and like man, you talk about a poorly run organization. That is just that's bad.
Yeah, bringing in Tua to an up northeast outdoor team.
Yeah,
with his cannon. Andrew's commenting again. This was our next topic to pivot to. He says Kyle Anderson was a high school QB. Just signed him.
Bring him in.
He's already in
town.
Anything
out. I wouldn't rule anything out just yet. Yeah, he's in town. Any other Vikes thoughts, or we can start to talk some Kyle?
More news will come out. Yeah, we can pivot.
Yeah. It's going to be, I think, pretty busy next. Does anyone know when the draft is? It's usually later in April.
It's like
April 22nd or something like that. 22nd, 23rd-ish.
And did you say when the free agency opens officially? I was going to look.
I think it's a week from today.
Legal tampering negotiating window opens Monday, March 9th. And the signing period is the 11th. So few days.
The legal tampering period sponsored by Aspiration beginning next week. Set your watch to it. All right, that's a good bit on the Vikes. We'll be talking a lot of Vikes here coming up. Let's go Wolves. Kyle Anderson made his return on the court last night, but we got him unofficially, I think, last week in the buyout market.
In the tampering period.
The illegal tampering period, where we also got Mike Conley back. We really cleaned up in that period.
Aren't those like the tweets funny where it's like, man, the Wolves traded Mike Conley and they got Mike Conley and Io and Kyle Anderson. I just laugh at those because I'm like, well, in theory, that's the way it looks.
It's not untrue.
Yeah.
Jake, what kind of impact do you think he's going to have in his second tour with the Wolves wearing number 12?
Number 12, yes. Great ovation last night, too, when he checked in. That was awesome. Our fans, of course, love a comeback story. I think this is awesome. I think this is the perfect piece that we need on this team. Voice in the locker room that I keep talking about, the guy that's going to be like, hey, why are we playing 50% against the Memphis Grizzlies in the first half kind of a person? And then they come out in the second half a little more fired up, ready to play. So that's 100% what we need. And you can fill some minutes, too, that we also need when Nas and Julius are doing their thing. So I think this is awesome signing. This makes us so much better, I believe.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think he has a lot more in the tank than maybe people think, just because he wasn't playing a lot for the teams he was on. But he just stepped right back in last night. I don't know how many minutes he played. I don't know if anybody has that in front of him, but 12 to 15. Does that sound about right? And he looked great.
And you know what else he did? He made both his free throws. I can get used to that. I wouldn't say he's got the conventional J, as we all know, but we just needed like somebody serious as another option on that bench. We tried, and we had Rob to start out. Terrence, unfortunately, the injuries just derailed his season. I wouldn't like completely close the door on him, especially against OKC. Somehow he's just got their number. He can kind of do a lot of different things. He can defend a lot of different positions, can handle the ball and initiate some offense. I thought it was immediately interesting that he came in and shared the court with Gobert, where we thought like those two would be like Kyle might be some sort of backup five to try to like stop the bleeding of the Nas Julius defensive rating. And he came right in for Rudy. And I think Rudy immediately like illegal screened a dude or something and was in foul trouble and had to come out. But because that's the thing, you're like the spacing with those two. I mean, Memphis isn't a great like test case or anything like that. But to your point about how much he has in the tank, like he's basically just been chilling for the last, 2 years or so. Unfortunately, just being on like shittier teams. So he's a lever you can pull. I should look up at some point just how he's fared against OKC. That's always what we want to check out turnover wise, right? Like, can he handle some of that pressure? We always need the high IQ player to add to the team. Like that's always an issue as well. So
I look at between him and Io and even Bones to an extent, because he wasn't playing, very consistently at the beginning of the season. The bench is a completely different unit now. And I think that's what going into the trade deadline, it was like, man, we really need to get some more off the bench. And Io's been great, man. He just has another gear for sure. But then to now also Bones is playing a lot more. And now Kyle comes in, and I think Andrew said he played 14 minutes last night. So that's 9 deep right there that you can go. And especially like when some of these guys don't have it. I mean, I know Julius threw up 20 and 10 last night, but the last 2 games, I see the stat line. And I go, okay, the stat line looks good, but the eye test does not look good. I don't get what's kind of going on with him. He's going back into, just trying to just like do everything by himself again, bull in a china shop type thing. And I don't know what's going on with him. I know we were joking, take a week off, take some PTO. And remember last year when he had like that time off for that injury and he just came back a completely different player. And he was saying like, I just needed to kind of see it from the outside perspective. And it's like, well, what happened now? I don't know what's going on.
And this all coincides with the All-Star break too. So it's like you should have just got a little bit of a rest, and then he's come back and been like, terrible. I looked up the other night. I had somebody text me about him shooting. It's like, yeah, I mean, we all see it. He's getting wide open threes and just missing them, and probably shooting too many threes, even though I'm sure that's kind of just like, hey, that's the system. We want to shoot a bunch of threes. But I think he was like 11 for like 40, his last 47 or something like that going into last night. So on the other hand, you just like, it can't get worse. And, just be ready come playoff time, man, because we saw last year, that was to me, like, we didn't really know. Once you have someone on your team, you can see them from afar, but once they're on your own team, when you're watching them every night, there's no doubt after that. And he was much better than I would have ever thought, especially in playoffs last year. I'm like, I don't really get why everybody was dogging this guy all the time. And I feel like it's just been maybe some sort of sophomore. He knows he's got Ant on his team. Is there a little just kind of letdown happening? And I expect him to play with a lot more effort as we finish out the home stretch here. But when he's on, man, like, and especially when he's filling the stat sheet, that's the best version of Julius that we want to see. Well, kicking the ball out to shooters.
I was going to say in matchup, dependent on who you get in the playoffs, but Lakers and Warriors were great matchups for him because they just don't have a whole lot of big bodies. I know the Lakers had a bunch of like taller guys, but he's so physical that like against those teams, those are great matchups for him. And he had a great series in both of those series. So, and then obviously against OKC, a little bit different of a matchup, not quite the same result. So that's the problem.
That's like a nightmare matchup for him as OKC.
For
so
sure.
then it becomes a Finch thing of like, I need you to, have your hand on the dials a little closer. And that's where Kyle maybe could come in and you have a little more versatility to play against those guys, but happy to have him back. Like we'll see the first night where he's left alone in the corner for like 4 threes that he misses, and
can't wait
see if the standing ovations remain. But I've always liked Kyle, man. And some of the leadership stuff too, I think is, like you guys said, is key to have. So let's move on to our next
banner.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hang the banner as well. First player in Wolves history to wear 3 different numbers. So that should be hanging in the rafters.
We got plenty of space up there.
Yeah, right.
Do whatever you got to do. Other Wolves thing to get since our last pod, that little Ant Chris Finch exchange after that Clippers dagger the other night, where he was just barking at Finchy a little bit. Jake, what do you make of that? Anything to that?
Not so much, I don't think. We all know Ant and Finchy love each other. They're good buddies. It's interesting to see, just because we've seen like that Kirko and Zimmer thing. It reminded me of instantly back when they were screaming in each other's face. We were just all thought that was just kind of just fun games, just excitement of the team and stuff like that for the win. Turns out they actually hated each other the entire time, and they were actually angry with each other and about to fight each other on the sidelines. So obviously that was not this scenario, I don't think. But I don't know, it's good to see that kind of that fire in Ant, because it is his role. He's the clutch player of the year, and we proved it last night too, when he's just drained everything and just took over the game by himself. So that's his spot, his role. I think he knows if he's not having the game, he would have been passing the ball. Or if he had somebody open making shots, that was also hot with him that night. But there wasn't. It was just him going. So I think it was awesome to see. Love the fire in Ant to close out games like that. And he's been insane in the fourth quarter in those clutch time points. So let him keep shooting. Don't pass the ball, man. Be Kobe.
Yeah, you have to. And like I think I tweeted out last night, I told you boys, he moved down to 20th on the national MVP ladder. So big night for him. Wins All-Star MVP, 3-0 after the All-Star break, and then now 4-0 after last night. 1 in Denver, and doesn't seem to matter to anybody else. I kept like looking at those things as like, okay, we got clickbait here, but then you see some of like the names behind them, like the Bleacher Reports and the bigger like accounts, and you're like, what the fuck is going on here? Where's the agenda here? It's very strange.
Yeah, I had to do some Bleacher Report unfollowing this afternoon
Yeah.
after this last 24 hours of just garbage getting on my timeline. But yeah, I think, like you said, he moved into 39th in the MVP ladder, just behind Norman Powell. So he's having an okay season. Yeah, thank God for the clutch numbers. We don't know where he would be, but the other thing about that moment too, I think it was more almost like the previous possession. He did take a pretty bad two and didn't make it. And the three hit, like the clock was running down. Jake, like you said, I mean, that Clippers game was the definition of a rock fight. So it's like if there's other guys that are feeling rhythm, then it's much easier to get off the ball. But sometimes you got to be like, dude, I'm bringing this one home. And that's what you want when you have like a top 5 player in the league. And it wasn't really anything, it's easy in the moment to be like, oh my God, look at these two. You don't ever see Ant react like that to his coach. He hit the shot right in front of the bench. That's part of it, I think, as well. And then Finch wasn't really open to talking about it afterwards, and for good reason probably. But it's just a heat of the moment thing, and Finch just happened to be like right there when it happened. So he just was, barking at him a little bit. But
it goes back to the agenda that I was just talking about whatever it is against. Maybe it's just because he plays for the Wolves. Whatever, like with the MVP thing, they're just trying
Rookie
to
of the
stir up
year.
drama. Rookie of the yeah, they're trying to stir up drama. You saw like Rudy's comments about passing the ball, which was clearly a joke, and everybody's laughing. But sites just took off and ran with that. Like, oh, he's calling out Ant. It's like, did you watch it? He's laughing and joking around, and like, it's just ridiculous at this point.
Yeah,
send him to Atlanta.
Yeah, right.
Where would you guys put him in the MVP ranking right now, Ant? Since you're so butthurt, where the people on the internet say he is?
Well, he's top 5, I would say for sure. I mean,
but
I put him ahead of Luka. I feel like everyone just probably sees his stats and just like, we're putting Luke up here. And it's like, dude, watch this dude bitch and moan. And like, we think Julius takes plays off. Oof. But I would put, because sometimes you have to, I do agree that like winning matters for the MVP race. Yeah. So SGA,
the playing game a couple weeks ago, that's kind of why he's not high in these rankings.
Yeah. But to have Duran ahead of him and Chet, when it's like you guys aren't even close to shouldering the same amount of load, pause. But like SGA probably it's usually, and then it could be this for a while. SGA, Jokic. I would probably maybe even put Cade third, just for what the Pistons have done, even though it is in the East. I think there's maybe a Wemby conversation at 4. I think you then can start putting Ant up against anybody at 5. And maybe I'm missing somebody else there, but like
the guys they had ahead of him, right, would have been like Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, Kevin Durant. I don't know. Like those are all names where I'm like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah. But the other thing I would say, like you said, Jake, we were just, fighting our way out of the 6th seed. And some of that's just like the West is just pretty close. But like when you don't take your opponent seriously every night and it hurts your record, and this is the price you pay. Some of the accolades. It's like, because we could easily have 5, 6, 7, however many more wins. I mean, we were on the ropes to lose the season series to Memphis 3-1 last night for a little while. Right? Like, so like you start adding all those wins up. Now I can put you ahead of Cade or somebody like that. If we're like, I think the Spurs have now distanced themselves pretty good as the 2 seed. Mm-hmm. Let's just say that was the Wolves. Now you have Ant probably in that top 3 having much more of a conversation, but it's like you kind of punt a lot of these games, and this is the price for that. You're behind Norman Powell. In the voting. The other thing that'll be interesting too is like the all NBA stuff too. That's where I'm like, Ant better be first team on that too. Like, I know a lot of people like Brunson and all that, but anytime I hear Brunson, I'm like, you just close your eyes on the other end of the floor. There's 2 ends, even though Ant takes a lot of plays off too. But like, we know when he wants to, we're ratcheting it up. That's when the playoff Wolves thing starts happening. So he better be first team. Like, I guess that's probably what it is. Cade, Ant, Shea, Jokic, Wemby. That's probably your first team. I think pretty easy first team. And then, you got some additional guys, Luca's, whatever. I'm just down on him like a lot of people are. Definitely talented, but this is a lot of the same shit you saw after they lost the finals. Some of the video where you're like, dude, you're not even gonna fucking give effort in the finals, that kind of stuff. And Nico Harrison knew, man. Sharp guy.
It's really starting to take off. Like you've seen the clips from the Lakers broadcasts of the announcers just getting pissed at him and stuff. It's not just us watching him bury a 3 on us and get pissed about him barking or whatever. It's taken on a whole life of itself now.
And that's after, remember, all off season. Oh, he's in shape. Yeah. Pro athlete got in shape. Watch out. Okay, cool.
Getting in shape doesn't
and he's still
doesn't mean you're going to try on the it doesn't mean you're going to try on the defensive end.
Right. All right. Any other Wolves takes, thoughts? It sounds like it would be nice we moved into a tie, I think, with Houston.
Yep. Tied for the 3 right now.
We got NBA paint night tomorrow. It would be cool if we had the paint jerseys. Those would be hilarious. If you could just have a jersey of that. I think we've won 7 of 8, and this is all heading right into a matinee Saturday. Just let down against Orlando. Tough one. I think it's another one of those prime. Remember that game against Cleveland? I think we had. I don't know if that was maybe in December or something like that. And it's just 1 million points, and we just got blown out in the second half. And you're like, in the first half, we're like, wow, we came ready to play. Yeah, short-lived.
Just decided to only play the first half.
Yeah, but surging in the second half, very similar to a lot of the last few seasons. So hopefully they can, now that the bench a little more depth here to make a further push in the playoffs. So I had Royce Lewis as a next topic. We're running low on time. Sorry, bud. And I saw he did come back yesterday and steal a base. So I guess he's healthy for the next week.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Be here next week, so we can talk about it again.
Yeah. We'll cover that next week.
We got every week to review his injuries, but my stance on I would trade him as soon as he has if he has a hot April, get him out of here. All his injuries too. He ran in a straight line to first base and his oblique just snapped and
exploded.
What is going on with this guy? So I would just try to sell high. It's unfortunate. We saw kind of what he could be initially, but I mean, we went through this with Buxton. I can't do it anymore. So we got all summer to freaking try to figure out how to not talk about these Twins. So let's talk about what we want to talk about. PGA one and done contest. Arnold Palmer Invitational this week. Jake, how do we stand after the don't call it the Honda Cognizant Classic?
Cognizant. Pretty good. We had Højgaard go out there. Nikula. So that's good. He is T6. Coming off of a T7. So we got back-to-back top 10s. We are going to the moon, guys. It's coming. we're close. We're close. So we got 324,000 for him. It was our second best week. We moved from 75th to 70th overall.
Chip away.
Not the biggest jump I was hoping for, but we will take it. We actually got a Sunday round out of our guys, so that's nice. We're
even though he still just fucked around a little bit, missing a couple 3-footers, but
a couple easy ones. We're up to 1.46 mil now total on the season. So, and then me and Phil ended up tying last week for money out of our 3 picks because we picked the same guys.
You don't say.
So that's where we're sitting now. And then this week, Arnold Palmer. And rotation will be Phil, then myself, then Hags for picks today.
First for me, huh?
Word up.
Word. Okay. I put this guy, I think I had him in my top 3. Was it last week or week before? I don't know, but I'm going 1 Morikawa because I just feel like I think none of us really like him, and he's been playing well. So now is the kind of time to use him.
We hate him, so let's
get rid of it. Let's get rid of him. So I'll go Morikawa 1. I will go Fitzpatrick 2, Jake Knapp 3.
Stop. Sick. Okay. So my first pick, just to get rid of him because we kind of hate him and I don't like him, it's gonna be Colin Morikawa. So might as well just toss that out there.
You
Nice.
Number
perverts.
2, I'm gonna go Fitz probably, and then third I'm
my
gonna go
God.
Jake Knapp.
Damn, look at that.
Did you the same 3 last week? Same order this week.
Same order. Holy
Wow.
shit.
So I don't even need to say anything.
Well, that's interesting.
Um,
I'm just not
Yeah.
allowing you to pass me in the standings.
Yeah, that's
For whatever
wild.
that's what's more
worth.
important.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
worth
And the
nothing.
tiebreaker. Well, we'll see here. Hex.
Yeah. Tiebreaker, huh? Yeah, I had Xander first, just as
Okay.
kind of a off the beaten path type of a pick. He looked like he was coming around a little bit at Riv and just missed every little 3-4
Yeah.
footer. I know a lot of guys were, but he really was struggling with that on the POA. So I'm like, well,
Yeah,
you
the
know, are we
California
starting
greens
to?
they're tough.
They were killing some folks, so that's I felt like he was sitting it pretty good. So I went Xander. I had Knapp too. Feel like this is the time to try to squeeze him in a Siggy event. And then I feel like this third pick, I'm like, let me try to pay this forward because he was so good to me last week. Shane Lowry, just absolutely filling his pants and winning me an outright with Nico last week. So I'm like, you know what? He might be on the warpath. He seems like he should be a good setup for the course as a good ball striker. So
Be on the warpath
like,
until the final 4 or 5 holes.
yeah, maybe it'll get rain shortened Sunday and he can claim victory. But those are my 3. So I don't know that I factored in at all to the decision, but
Nope, it's gonna be Morikawa with the two first places from me and Phil for 6 points.
man.
Fitz
Get him out of
with
here.
4, Knapp with 4.
we
So,
hate
yeah,
him.
let's
But I
burn him and
do
turn him.
agree with you guys though. Like this is the time to use him.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think.
Yeah, I was
aside
thinking
from
either
Pebble.
here or maybe next week because I think if he does play well this week, I think he's going to play nice at the Players next week too. So
Yeah.
we'll see what we got to do for that one next week. But yeah, little chalky. Morikawa I think will be probably top 4. I think Fitz is going to be number 1.
You think so?
Above and beyond.
Yeah, Fitz,
I think so.
Fitz will for sure.
And then I was going to toss Rory out there this week too, but we'll see how he plays. Maybe we can toss him out next week or something too. I'm not sure what he does at the Players, but he's been
won it.
playing pretty well. So
I think he's won it twice since they've moved it to March.
Oh, well.
So
Spoiler alert.
Don't say.
he won last
But I was
year.
also thinking, depending on what we do again this week too, if we need to start getting a little cute, maybe Jake Knapp gets tossed back out there too. I don't know. We'll see how this week goes with another signature, but we gotta start making moves here in a little bit, maybe.
I want to see what a win would even do for the stand. Like, how far would it even jump us up? Maybe we can just like even crunch those numbers, but you don't know what other people are picking, so it's hard to say. Like,
it is
before the
tough.
fact, but
I think it's 3.6 for first place this week, and then it's going to be 4.1 next week at the Players, which is the second highest, I think. So, and I think first place was at like 4.5 mil. So we're 4 mil back. So we are just a couple of wins back, but obviously other people are going to be picking golfers the next 2 weeks and not just getting zeros. So we'll kind of see where we go. But I think Colin's a good pick. You're going for a big dog at a SIG event here, trying to get a bigger cash. Maybe even break $1 million in 1 week. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, like hopefully this is a good week. At some point though, if we fall off or just stay, we might have to like start mapping out like who are we going to use in majors? Do we have to start pivoting? Would it be beneficial to like burn Scotty earlier? I know we're probably thinking Masters for him, but like, but he hasn't been too reliable either. At least in these first rounds. So that's why I'm like, what would a win do? How far can we jump?
Giving the field 5 strokes and then playing hard Friday, Saturday, Sunday to see if he can still win a tournament. He's been coming close, so that's kind of scary.
It's become like this sideshow every week of can he how far back is too far back for him to overcome, and he's been
barely making the cut.
Wasn't Pebble like at one point? Wasn't he 10 back? Like maybe after Thursday.
I think he's.
I want to say, Like it was a lot, and he he almost won that one too.
Yeah, so there's some strategy still to see if we want to deploy it, but yeah, the players, I know, like you said, Rory could be an interesting one. I always just get cooked. I feel like that tournament is just always so random. So
Yeah.
like your nap theory might
Might be
because
good,
people will
or-
be looking for big dogs.
Yeah, and maybe even like a Si Woo, because he's been kind of playing hot too, and he loves that course
loves
too. So we'll
players,
see.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we get a little more in depth with our conversation next week, depending on how this week's goes. So I
Yeah.
doubt there's gonna be anything too entertaining to talk about in the news next couple of days. So
Probably not.
Wolves play
Not,
75%, get wins. We move on.
Yeah, and Vikes cut another player. Cool.
Yeah, Mike's got another player.
Vikes have no money, even though we thought we
More
were.
rumors on quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Stay
they're
tuned.
all surprise, surprise. We're a landing spot. Yeah, API. Pretty excited for that one. Morikawa, the pick. You think he's gonna be fourth? One of the higher owned guys? I feel like I've had
think he might
a
be.
tough read on that this year.
Yeah, it'd be a little bit same. Last week was pretty easy. Just we knew because there's very select few people. But yeah, I think Rory's gonna be big. I think Colin's gonna be big. Fitz is gonna be the biggest though. I think for sure.
Yeah, it's a perfect time to burn him.
Yep. Agreed.
And we're not.
And we're not. So go ahead and get those bets in on Fitzpatrick because
I will fire it in
Nice
right
to
now.
delivered. He's yours.
I did. Did you bet him? Who are your bets so far? We've been hitting bets, man. Like some of
Every
it's
week,
tailing Mayo.
past
I'll
couple
give Mayo
weeks.
credit for last week. I didn't like
Yes.
the Honda or Cognizant. I'm not getting in the weeds
let's
on
see.
that one too much, but I just tailed him with Nico. He had a monster. Mayo had a monster week hitting everything. First round
He
leaders.
really did. Yeah.
Nico, like all this stuff. And sure, I guess the Lowry thing, but that happens a lot in golf, man.
Part of the
Especially
game.
all
Yeah.
that water. I know Brian Campbell took me to the sword a couple times last year on some bullshit. So
I did not bet Fitzpatrick yet, but I'm definitely gonna go throw 10 on him now after the conversation we just had.
yeah,
But I got
you have
Nap,
to.
Morikawa. I threw some on Kitayama, Højgaard. I did throw one on Keegan, and then I had to throw one on Sung JM just first tournament back, man. I
Hey,
got to get a little bit on my guy.
Can't get caught slipping.
No.
I just did the 3 that I had put in, and then I put a little bit on Oberg as well. I think he's just sitting in like a good spot to bet.
Great
him.
number on him too.
Yeah.
And a good setup. I don't like, so strategy wise, just I'm never betting Scotty, probably not betting Rory.
Mhm.
Good for those guys to win. That's, to me, those guys are DraftKings dudes. And if Scotty wins at like 3-1, like, good job, man. Like, you just hope that he doesn't destroy you.
Cool. Yeah, because I'm only putting $10 down max on this, so it's like I don't need to make $30. I'd rather go try and gamble elsewhere.
Yeah. So I live in the 40, I like the mid tier or a little bit more of the long shots. I do $5 usually across 10 picks, except this week I did put 10 on Fitz just because his number was a little lower. And then I wanted to bet Nap, but his number was even low. And I'm like, man, that's a little rich for my blood in this field for a win for this guy when, like, he just hasn't really broken through like that just yet. So I had Ludwig as well, Nikolai as well. I mentioned Fitz. Cootie, probably not going to win, but I've been
Mayo's
betting him.
boy,
Like,
though.
even like Nico, I was betting him every single week of the fall. And he was like top 5 or in the hunt every Sunday. And I never hit it. And then I think you and I both came out at the Sony and had him. And he was trash for like the first 3 or 4 weeks. And I was off of him. I'm like, I can't keep doing this to myself as I bet Haotong Li every week. But the fact that Mayo, I would not have bet him at all, but Mayo, he's like, dude, he's on him. I'm like, all right, I'll do it. So I felt like justified to hit that. Like, I'm like, I can't miss the Nico win. So I'm kind of that same way with Cootie. I've been playing him and betting him all the time. And he's going to win at some point. So I had him. Jason Day, by the time I wake up, he'll have quit the tournament. So that's $5 down the drain.
That's his MO.
Yep. So that'll be nice to see. That's when it's golf season officially. Mentioned Fitz, Ricky Fowler. API. I think they're
Been playing
honoring him with
well.
some award this week, so that'll probably distract him and make him miss this small cut. Lowry, more of a narrative bounce back. You know, do you have any pride? Get any dog in you? He doesn't. He'll probably get cut as well. McNeely, I threw in there. I just kind of liked his name at that number. And then I like to bet Big Bob at tougher courses. So I took McIntyre. He was also in that.
I was kind of looking at him too.
50-1 range. So that's what I got, gang. So the fact that we broadcast these to everyone to try to get in on the winning, no, you know it's going to be just
Congrats to Scotty.
Yeah.
Congrats to Scotty.
Scotty or Rory.
Or Shane Lowry.
The one guy we're off of this week, Gerard. I'm chasing him all
every
season.
Week.
Might be a little panic better. We'll see. Yeah.
Didn't one and done him at some point yet, but yeah. All right, we're over the hour mark, gang. Good show, good action. We've got some Vikes stuff taking shape. We've got some golf kicking off tomorrow. T-Wolves are cruising. What could be wrong? What could go wrong around here? Nothing for sure. But yeah, appreciate all the support. Give us a like, follow, subscribe, rate, review, all the same shit you hear over and over again to every pod. Thanks for sticking around in the chat. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace.